Next stop's Imagination Station. Let's see what Mr. Paul's cooking up today.
Welcome back to day 2 of Imagination Station, kids. Imagination Station. Back once again. Did you bring some? Did you bring your imagination for the day? You know, when I think about what God has created, we talked about that yesterday, the earth and the planets and the sun. What else has he created? Take a look right now if you're in a room that has a window, and just take a look out the window and what do you see out there? Maybe you see some trees. Maybe you see the blue sky. Maybe like today here where I am, it rained a little bit. I see everything is wet and there's clouds in the sky. Well, how about the colorful flowers? Wow, what an imagination our wonderful God has. And today you've already talked about what else does Jesus give us? Jesus gives us the power to do hard things. We talked about that yesterday. Today, Jesus gives us hope. So the first thing I'm going to hit you with, after you've thought a little bit about your imagination there, is what question of the day am I going to come up with? Well, I have here a picture of 2 red-tailed hawks. You'll notice that one picture is in black and white, and the other picture is in color. So my question to you today is, do red-tailed hawks see in black and white, or do they see in color? Think about that for a moment. You know, when I was a little boy, somebody told me that dogs only see in black and white. They don't see color. I learned later on that they actually see a little bit of color. It has been determined, but not the kind of colors that we see. Us people see a lot more colors than dogs do. But how about hawks? Black and white or color? Did you come up with an answer? What do you think? They see in color. And not only do they see in color, but they actually see a greater array of colors than even us people see. They not only see in reds and yellows and greens and all those different colors, they see on a different spectrum that we could only use specific instruments to look at, such as in the ultraviolet. So hawks have very good sight. They not only could see really far, but they could see many more colors to identify things. Pretty interesting stuff. So what are we going to do today? What are we going to demonstrate? I have here a bowl with a straw on top of it. And it's filled with, well, it looks a little sudsy, doesn't it? All right. Looks a little sudsy there. Well, as you may have been able to guess, this is a bubble solution. No, I didn't buy this bubble solution at the store. I made my own. And you can make your own too. You just need some water and some dishwashing solution, both of which you probably have in the house. At least I hope you have the water. But the dishwashing solution also. If you want to know the proportion that I use so you can make your own, that works really well. I put 4 cups of water in it. Actually, 2 cups. I halved it. I used a cup like this. 2 cups of water. And then I used a 1/4 cup of dishwashing solution. And then I use something a little bit kind of cool, which you don't have to use, but it helps the bubbles maintain their shape a little bit better. I use something called glycerin. Glycerin is used by a lot of people to put on their skin. It kind of like conditions and softens it. They sometimes use it for hair conditioner also. What it does for a bubble is it helps to maintain its shape. How does it do that? If I stick this straw in my bowl and I just kind of like blow a bubble. Simple to blow a bubble, right? Well, that wasn't too good. How come I didn't make a bubble? I thought I made bubble solution. Well, let's think about this. I'm going to put this back in, bring it back out again. Still no bubble. What's happening here? Okay, let's try one more time now. Are you ready? And off it goes. Catch the bubble, and look at what kind of a shape is it? It's round. Or since it's 3-dimensional, it's actually a sphere. Because the center of that bubble, right in the middle of it, the distance to every surface on the bubble is the same. It's identical. And that's what I use my glycerin for, because it helps to maintain that shape and gives me better bubbles. It's called surface tension. And the bubble is going to go into the easiest shape possible in the environment that it's in, and that is a circle. That's why you always get a circle. Wow, that popped pretty fast when it fell on that surface there. Wonder why. Let's do something else. Let's try to blow a bubble on the counter. So I'm going to dip my straw in there. I'm going to get down on my knee here. And I'm going to go. That's a pretty nice bubble, but it popped pretty fast. Wonder why it popped so fast. Bubbles don't like dry surfaces. When you put it on a dry surface, it usually won't last. What happens when we wet down the surface? Let me go do that. I'm going to dry off the soap here first. And then I have a spray bottle that I'm going to use. Wet down the surface really good. This is just water in here. Now I'm going to take my trusty straw again. And I'm going to dip it in there. Get down on my knee once again. Oops, it popped. Wasn't supposed to do that. Ooh, that one got bigger, didn't it? Okay. Let's see if we can even do better than that. Boom. Nice little bubble, isn't it? Notice that I was able to make that a little bit bigger, and it keeps its shape, even when I remove my straw. It likes a wet surface. You know, wetness comes up in the Bible a lot. Water is one of the key things that we all need to live on. When a child is baptized, even an adult baptized, we use water. We sometimes call it living water. That gives us hope once we put our trust into Jesus. So, Jesus' power, we know, gives us hope. Trust Jesus. So, this bubble here, what would happen to it if I touch it? Can I move it around? Oh, it popped. So let's make another one. There we go. Let's see if I could. Oh, it popped again. I'm going to try to make that bubble stay this time. Use my special solution here. Oops. Now, my straw, which I like to keep wet, I'm going to bring a jug of water over here. I'm going to wet the straw down. And I'm going to put it in the bubble. Wow, I went right to the center of the bubble, and it didn't break. Why? Because it's wet. Bubbles like wetness. If you'll notice, a lot of times when I didn't wet it down, the bubble burst. Can we do some things with this bubble that are kind of neat? Can we kind of like bounce it a little bit? Well, how about this one? Let me put my straw back in my bubble solution. And go right in the bubble. I have a bubble in a bubble. How about that? Isn't that pretty cool? And you know what? It looks identical to the first bubble I blew, except it's a little smaller because it fits inside the bubble. Because it wants to keep that sphere-like shape, surface tension. Let's try another bubble. Whoa! I have a bubble in a bubble in a bubble. You know, as long as I have the room for it, I could keep blowing bubbles forever and have more and more bubbles inside each other, and it won't break. The key thing is we need a wet surface. Whoop! look at that, the air around it. I wasn't intentionally doing that, but I made the bubbles separate. It almost looks like, from the top, a ladybug. So kids, remember this. A perfect circle, a perfect sphere. If you want to have like a contest with your friends, you could blow a bubble, wet down the surface. A dud again. Let's get another one going. Try to blow it as big as you can and see who gets the largest diameter bubble. Because every time a bubble bursts, and you can easily burst it, particularly with the dry part of the straw, and it leaves a perfect circle all the time. Measure the circle with a ruler. See which one of you could blow the biggest bubble possible. That's fun with bubbles, and you can do a lot of other neat things with it. The thing is that things that seem hard become easier. Some things that doesn't seem very hopeful can be done. The part of the message here that we must remember all the time is to trust Jesus. Jesus gives us strength, makes hard things easier, and he gives us hope. Tomorrow we'll look at another neat thing to do, but in the meantime, you could do your own experiment with bubbles. Like I said, all you need is water, dishwashing solution, and if you happen to have glycerin, that's a kind of a neat addition, but you don't really need to have that. So remember Imagination Station. Bring some more tomorrow, because we will do something neat again tomorrow on day 3. Thanks for joining me, kids. Have a great day.